live, going live. We are live now. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back to Cyber Talk with CyberGRC podcast series, where we turn compliance governance into simple, actionable insight. Today, we are decoding one of the most important and often misunderstood concept in ISO IEC 42001 in 2023. The world's first AI management system standard, the AI rules. We'll explore how responsible for designing, providing, and using AI system, namely the AI producer, AI provider, and AI customer or user, and how these roles help build trust across the AI lifecycle. Joining us is Love Johar, a certified ISO 42001 lead implementer and AI governance expert. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Vidya. How are you?
I'm good too, sir. So, can we begin?
Yeah, sure. Let's get started.
Yeah. What does ISO IEC 42000 mean by AI rules?
Basically, excellent question to start with, actually. Okay. So, roles are very important for an organization whenever we talk about AI, right? For example,
Hmm.
if I'm using uh, source code from an AI company who is actually creating the AI, and I am using that source code to create my own AI software, like a chatbot out of that, or anything out of that for that matter, right? If I'm using their source code, so I am not the AI producer in that case. I am called as a AI provider because I am not the one who is building it. I am basically providing it. Okay. And similarly, the
Yeah.
one that who builds it, it is called a AI producer. Okay. And AI producer, you can call it,
Hmm.
because they are basically building it, right? So one is called as AI producer, who is building the software, the AI code itself from the scratch. Second thing is the AI provider, that is providing it to the end user, okay, by slightly changing it as per the business functionality, right? For example, creating a chatbot for automatically answering the concerns of the people who are actually facing some issues with the website, or etc., or anything, right? So, and the third role is basically the users who are actually affected by this particular AI. Okay, so these are the three primary roles. If you see on the screen, these are the three, uh, these are the three primary areas. If you see on the screen, Vidya, basically we have producer, we have provider, and we have a customer,
Yeah.
right? So producer, like we saw, basically creates the AI system,
Consumer. Yeah.
okay, and provider basically makes AI
Hmm.
available for the business, right? And consumer is basically who uses the AI, like you, like me, like people who are using ChatGPT, right? We all are called as customers. The primary role here is basically for a producer actually to create it. Okay, so creating from the scratch is the main role. Provider is basically deploying it to the end user, okay, actually providing it to the business. And the typical activities are there, accountability focus is there, who is accountable for what, life cycle involvement is there. So all these things are basically important from a role perspective. Which role are you actually performing? Okay, for example, a bank is there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so a bank is there. A bank has actually provided automated response system, a sort of a chatbot for anybody who has issues or concern related to the bank. So they can simply log into that particular chatbot with their bank account and password details and start using those services. But is the bank itself created that chatbot using their own model and source code? If that is the case, then the bank itself is the AI producer and the AI provider. But if they have taken that source code from a third party, so then in that case the bank becomes the provider and the third party becomes the producer, because they have actually created it, right? That's how it is.
Okay. So let's start with the AI producer. Who are they and what they actually do?
Basically they create the AI from the scratch. Okay, they basically they are individuals or organizations. They basically design the AI, they develop the AI, they test the AI, they train the AI system, they create it from the scratch. Okay, they basically have proper
Yeah.
data pipelines where they actually have a huge amount of data sets and algorithms. They basically create the AI, and they make sure that the AI is basically following all the ethical AI principles like fairness, uh, data quality is being maintained, and transparency is being maintained. All these things are basically taken care by them. Yes, yes. So these are the people who are actually creating the AI from the scratch.
Okay, but there are two people. AI. Okay, we have a question. First, we'll
No,
answer that.
not a question.
Good
It's
morning.
a feedback. Yeah.
Acha, okay, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So, right now we discussed about two terms, that is AI provider and AI producer. So, what is difference between these two terms?
So the two terms that we have seen basically are provider and producer, which are very closely linked. Okay. So as an organization, okay, if I am creating the AI, okay, and I am only providing the AI to the end user also. Like for example, OpenAI. OpenAI has created ChatGPT, and OpenAI is providing ChatGPT to the end user also, right? So in this case,
True.
OpenAI
Yeah.
is playing both the roles. They are producer also, they are
Mm-hmm.
provider also. But
Provider
if
also.
I want to create a chatbot for CyberGRC, okay, and I go to OpenAI, I say, okay, can
Yeah.
you help me create this chatbot using your model, right? So they are basically giving me their model, their algorithm, their data, right? Using that, I am creating my model. This now becomes a provider. Got it?
Yeah. But this, like following this step, is there any drawback or limitation to do this?
Yes. Now here is a lot of risk involved. Actually, this is a great question that you asked, Vidya. So basically, these are some of the provider related risk. These are some of the producer and development related risk, and these are some of the end user
Mm-hmm.
related risk, okay, that I have collated. So let us now look at the
Yeah.
risk at each step, because you are right. If we do not see the caveats, if we do not see the risk at each step, we will not be able to understand how it is working. So here on the screen that you see, from a producer and developer perspective, okay, the main risk is data collection. Okay, if you remember, we had a session on data provenance. Remember that we had a session on data
Yeah.
provenance where we discussed about how data is collected, whether data is secure or not. All these things basically they have to manage, because this is where the AI model is being created, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the data is flawed, definitely you will see a lot of issues in the model, like bias and all, right? So then you have to make sure that
Okay.
that this AI is responsible AI, ethical AI. That is where you need to take care of
Hmm.
bias and representativeness. Algorithm design risks are there. You have to ensure that you have proper architecture, you have proper software development teams, AI teams. Every teams have to be there, right? You have proper data scientists who are actually able to create the right models, right? Then you have intellectual property risk. Okay, are you using any
Hmm.
copyrighted material for creation of AI? Many AIs use a lot of data, I told you, right? Without data, they can't work. But if the data is copyrighted,
True.
you know that it will
Mhm.
be a big trouble for the company, right? That is where it's an intellectual property issue. Okay. Then basically you have to make sure that the AI is secure. They have proper privacy in place. Data privacy is also there, because we discussed about personal data being used. Remember? So all these are
Yeah.
basically issues at the AI producer level, okay, which we see on the screen. So if you are a AI producer, basically, if you are basically the one who is creating the AI, these are the risks that you have to take care of, right? You have to understand these risks, and you have to make sure that you take care of these risks. And before going to the this one, the provider related risk, basically one thing I would like to tell everybody, that yesterday, Vidya, we have completed the first batch of AIMS ISO
Okay.
42001, and it was a great success. And people from Government of India, METI have joined. You know, There is a national e-governance division of Government of India. A lot of people were there in that batch, and people from IITs, IIMs were there, and it was a great learning for all of us, even for me as well as a trainer, and it was a great success. So yesterday we have closed the first batch of AIMS, and looking forward to the upcoming batch now on 9th of November. That will be the new batch for AIMS.
Yeah, this is a great success for family, cyber GRC family, and also for it is like a what I should say, that people are learning cyber GRC se. So if anyone else want to enroll, they have this example that people from IIT and government of India are enrolling for this session. So I would like to tell my audience they can also join, and please sir, just guide them how they can enroll for these classes.
Yeah, so they have my number. My number is displayed on my LinkedIn profile. You have my number. Just get in touch. Just WhatsApp me, and we'll get you enrolled in the 9th of November batch. It was a great learning, Vidya. As I said, a huge batch, a lot of interaction. Because see, AI is new, right? AI is new. Everybody wants to understand it,
Yes.
but they need the right mentor who can actually break it down to that level where they're able to understand that part. And I'm honored enough that I'm humbled enough that I was able to do that. So that was a great learning for me also, to break down AI to that level, and then identify all the
Yeah.
risk related to AI. Then did the impact assessment. Yesterday, before closing the session, what we did basically, Vidya, we did a practical impact assessment once again, just to make sure that everybody understand the
Okay.
impact assessment dimensions. What are the dimensions that we need to take care of? A lot of practical feedback was coming. Yes, yes, now this is how it works. Okay, now we are getting it. Okay, now this happens. Because when you do practically only, then it makes sense. Otherwise तो theory का क्या है? Theory तो just slides पढ़ा के भेज दो. So that's तो okay. That will not give you the whole
Yeah,
thing,
this
right? Yeah.
this is great, and actually people want to learn practically. Unless they will not be able to adapt that and grab that or gain that thing actually how they should.
Right, right. That is there. So yeah, it was a great learning for everyone. So yes, I'll be keep on posting the feedback of learners.
Okay.
Yesterday I've posted a feedback from one of the learners, and I'll keep on posting the feedback as soon as it comes. Okay. Yeah. So coming back to the
Okay.
provider, yeah, coming back to now the provider related
Mm.
issues and provider related risk. So here on the screen, Vidya, you see the provider related risk also now. Okay. So here you see, from a provider
Mhm.
perspective, okay, I need to look at transparency. That is one of the major issues for me as a provider, because I am providing it now. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
Security I also have to take care of. Regulatory compliance I also have to
Mm.
take care of. Okay. Ethical consideration I also have to take care of. It is not like के प्रोड्यूसर ने कर दिया तो प्रोवाइडर को नहीं करना है. No, 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 no. It's actually both ways. दोनों को करना पड़ता है. Because if you skip it at this level,
Okay.
yeah, because you are modifying
Mm.
the main code, right? You are basically modifying the main code
Yes.
in order to try to use it for your business purpose, right? So for that particular reason,
Yes.
you have to now make sure that all those controls are again followed by, all those controls are again remain the same like it was before, right? So यहाँ पे again model bias, data bias plays a lot of role, and similarly a lot of risk are still there. So you can't say okay, my role as a provider is I am to getting source code from the producer, I don't have to do anything. It's not like that.
Mhm.
The risk is still there. Although the risk is less, you see the number of risk items are less here, but still the risk is there, right?
Okay. Is there anything that
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
is there anything that people can is there anything that people can safeguard themselves from these kind of risks?
Yes, exactly. It's a very good question. So, for example, if I am a provider, right, and these are all the risks that are there, so that is where ISO 42001 has given 38 controls, right? And there are 9 control
Yeah.
categories for basically mitigation of all these risks. Okay, these categories
Yeah.
basically help you to design the right controls into place, so that basically you're able to control all these risks, right? So that is there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
interesting actually.
Yeah. So basically, Akash is asking, LA and LI both covered. So Akash, in Cyber GRC, we basically teach you how to practically implement the standard. Okay. For example, how to deploy it in the real world, how to basically implement as a consultant. Okay. So my focus is always on the implementation side, because if you are able to implement, if you are able to successfully deliver something, only then you are able to audit it, right? So for now, all the courses that are running at CyberGRC are all implementation courses. Okay. If you want to learn practically how to deploy AI, with proper governance, then you can join CyberGRC, right? So that is the idea. Vidya, I think your light is gone. Yeah. So basically, coming back
Yeah,
now to the,
just
it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So now coming back to the AI consumer related risk. Okay. So these are all the risks from a consumer perspective now. Okay. Who are basically, consuming the AI. So here you see a risk from an individual level to the risk at the society level, because consumers can be at a wider, level also, depending upon the AI model what you're using, depending upon the, uh, you know uh, which particular, what is the scope of your AI, depending upon that, right? So that is where, it can range from an individual to a society. So at an individual level, basically, people can actually have, misinterpretations because of blind trust on the AI, right? And we could have difficulty, contesting opaque AI results, because I saw an example where somebody loan got rejected, and because of that loan rejection, this person initially thought that it's no point, disputing the result. However, this person's credit score was very high, so even because of that also, the loan approval got rejected. So these are the issues that people face. Okay. And then you have privacy issue. Okay, personal data being used without explicit consent, without explicit approval from the people. So that is again an issue. Okay. So all these issues are there from a consumer perspective, which we see on the screen. Okay. Again, so when we are basically deploying the AI system, right, we have to take care of all these three roles, all these three risks into consideration, because we as an organization, when we are dealing with the AI, we have to make sure that AI governance is laid out at each and every level. That is how we need to play at,
yeah,
right, Vidya? Yeah.
true. Okay, moving ahead to our next question is AI customers or user, where do they fit in?
They basically are the end users. Okay, they basically are the people who are using the AI system to get some outcome. For example, you are basically using the chatbot to get some answers. Okay, you want to know some answers, you're getting stuck somewhere, so you are using the chatbot. Similarly, for any AI bot, people actually want to have some queries. They have some queries and they want the answers, so that is the end customer role here. For example, me and you, we use chat gpt, we have some questions, we input it in the prompt, and then we get the answers. So this is the role of a AI customer or user. They basically fit at the last step of the complete ladder, where the actual usage is being done. Okay.
Okay. How can one organization act as a provider or producer and user simultaneously?
Yeah, this is a very interesting and good question. So let's say अभी चैट जीपीटी है जैसे, ठीक है. Let's say, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Today a lot of feedback is coming with, yeah, maybe uh, because we are keep on doing this from a long time now, but yes, today a lot of people are showing interest, and they are coming. Thank you so much, guys. We are doing it for you. For us, we are here because of you, and we are doing it for you. So thank you so much. Okay. So yeah. So now basically, let's say chat gpt, right? अभी चैट जीपीटी ने चैट जीपीटी बनाया, राइट? ओपन एआई ने बनाया. For people in the open AI organization who are using chat gpt, they are their customers, but बनाया तो उन्होंने ही है. So company itself is the producer and the provider also. Got it? यहाँ पे
Provider.
you see
Okay.
all, हाँ,
Yeah.
यहाँ पे you see all these three roles coming together. Got it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that is where an
How do
organization
these
can.
roles tie
हाँ,
in?
yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, please continue.
Yeah, so that is why, that is how I was saying that that is how an organization ties into all the three roles when they are themselves being the end customer also of the same product, right?
Yes. Okay. So I was asking that how do these roles tie into accountability and governance?
This is a very good question. Okay, first of all the roles have a specific accountability, have a specific role to follow. Okay, for example, a producer has to make sure that the model that they are creating is technically robust enough to handle all the queries. It should not be that a model is there but it's not able to handle the queries properly, or the model is not able to give the output properly. Model
Mhm.
से related जो भी issues है, जो भी concerns है, the AI the producer itself, the creator itself has to make sure that no such issues are there. That is their part. Okay, they have to make sure of that. Okay, and
Okay.
there is no bias in the model also. For example, the model should not produce any result which is biased towards a specific gender, towards a specific caste, towards a specific, a particular culture, or a particular, this thing. So otherwise it will become a very big issue for the organization, right? So this is a producer's accountability now. So if I am a
Okay.
producer, I am creating the AI. Now this becomes my accountability, that I have to take care of all these things, because tomorrow if things go south, I will be the one who will be held accountable. Okay, so that is the role of
Yeah.
a producer, right? Now similarly, from a provider perspective, okay, provider perspective, I have to make sure that I follow proper security, I
Hmm.
follow proper privacy. Okay, and thirdly, transparency of how the decisions are making in this model. I have to make sure of, because I am the provider. Tomorrow, people will come to me. Okay, they will ask me
True.
questions, because people
Hmm.
do not know बैंक के पीछे कौन है. People तो know कि बैंक का chatbot है, right? उसके ऊपर फॉर
Yes.
एग्जांपल आईसीआईसीआई बैंक लिखा हुआ है, फॉर एग्जांपल उस पे बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा लिखा हुआ है. People will come to your bank, right? They will not go to आपके पीछे कौन है. So as a
Hmm.
bank, I should be able to transparently justify and show them, okay, this is how this model is working, this is how it is working, right? So transparency for a provider is a very important part to establish accountability. Okay. Similarly, the
Okay.
last role is that of a customer. Okay. अभी कस्टमर के साथ भी यहाँ पे बहुत बड़ी कहानी है विद्या. Customer has to make sure that customer is basically using it responsibly. They are not using it for some unfair means. Okay,
Okay.
because
For
it's a,
example?
yeah, because it's a technology. Okay, it's a
Yes.
technology. Okay, it's a technology, and you have to use it responsibly, and you have to use it carefully. Okay, you should not use it to, have any malicious practices or any things which is not good for people, right? So use it responsibly, use it ethically. These are some of the accountability from a customer side also. They have to understand that. Okay, for
For an
example,
example, we can take,
yeah, yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead, go ahead,
deep
go ahead.
fake videos, as we saw that actresses and all, you know.
Those are real examples. Yes, exactly, you are right. So those should not be done actually. Without people
Mhm.
consent, we should not create their videos. Without people consent, we should not create their pictures. I hate to see that, say that, but nowadays you see a lot of picture of many presidents. People are just, hanging around with the presidents on social media and all. So these are all, these are fake pictures
Yes.
actually. But this should not be done actually, because
Okay.
this is This is something which is not the intended purpose or the usage of that particular model, right? So we should use it responsibly. Is the role of a
Yeah.
end user and then customer also. Yes.
One more question I would like to add here, that a few days back or few months ago, I mean to say, these Gemini trend was going on, like Ghibli and that sari look that was really popular these days. So, what you would like to say on this?
Again, like, go for the intended use, I would say, right? Here and there things will keep on happening with there, but we should use the model for a public good, I would say, so that people can get advantage out of it. Okay, for example, do not use chat
Is
gpt
it
as your.
okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it okay to share your personal picture, or people just talk to them, like we have a movie called Her, right? So in that movie we saw that that person is in love with the AI, and people do share their personal stuff with AI. So is it okay to share this much personal stuff? Basically, AI is learning, gathering data day by day from users. So is it okay to share?
Again, this depends upon person to person, Vidya. Like recently I saw a case where somebody, had a divorce, and they actually, because of the AI thing only, it happened in some country. I can't recall exactly what was the case, but yes, these things are happening. Okay, so as an
Hmm.
individual, again, I would say one thing which you already have mentioned. See, all your data is already being collected from the AI, right? So be very cautious, be very careful. That's the only thing I would like to add. And still, still, if you want to use that, definitely you feel free to use that. But at the end of the day, be aware of all these things. That is one thing. Awareness, I think, Vidya, is a major part. If people are
Hmm.
still want to do it, if people still want to do it after being aware, completely up to them. But they should be aware of all these things. That is very important.
Okay. Uh, Moving on to our next question is, are there other roles mentioned in ISO 42001 beyond these three?
Yeah, exactly. There are other roles also. For example, there is a role of a partner. Okay, a partner is there. Partner is basically an organization that is helping you in order to create this model. For example, if somebody is providing you with data pipeline, these become your partners. Okay, and they give you APIs for data sharing and all. Then you have the subjects. There is one role of a subject where the person whose data you're collecting or who is directly affected by this AI outcome, they are called as a subject, right? And similarly, you have one other role called as relevant authority. So this relevant authority
Okay.
are nothing but the regulators, auditors, actually bodies who are overseeing your AI model. Okay, these are called as these relevant authorities. So these are the roles that are extended beyond the producer, provider, and customer role. Yes.
Okay. How does ISO 42001 ensures transability
Traceability.
and trust among?
Traceability.
Okay, sorry, traceability. Yeah.
Yeah. So traceability, as I already mentioned, okay, traceability means how the results are being created from the AI model. Are those results
Hmm.
traceable or not? Right. For example, I
Okay.
told you recently this happened, and it happened in India only. Somebody's loan got rejected, right? And they complained to the bank because their credit score was very high. Okay, so if the credit score is already high, the loan should not be rejected. Okay, that is a fundamental principle. So but
Yeah.
still their loan got rejected, right? So they immediately called the bank, and the bank came back and said that your rejection was wrong. Okay, so this
Okay.
is called as, yeah, so this is called as traceability. Bank was able to trace back and see the decision made by the AI was not
Hmm.
correct actually, right? If they would not have the traceability, how would we be able to be do that, right? So from a audit perspective, from a data control perspective, from a change control perspective, you need to have a traceable AI. you can actually trace the model. Okay, that is really important.
Okay. Uh, my last question is how should organizations document these rules for audit and certification?
So as a role, these are different roles like we discussed, right? So what we do
Yeah.
in the practical scenario, we basically create a roles and responsibilities matrix, right, which is called as a
Hmm.
RACI matrix. Okay, who is
Mm-hmm.
responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, who is informed. So this matrix basically help you drill down all the roles at each and every level, right? And then you
Okay.
know who to consult for what, who can do what from a AI perspective. So
Hmm.
these are the documents that we create. Okay, for example, responsibility is usually with the producer who is actually creating the AI. Accountability is with the provider who is providing the AI. Okay, and informed are the customer. For example, tomorrow anything happens, customers have to be informed because they are the end users of this AI, right?
Yes. Okay. At the end of this podcast, you would like to mention something?
This was a great podcast. This is the best one I would say so far, Vidya, because a lot of interaction has happened today, which I really love, and that is why we are doing it. Right, we are doing it for
Yeah.
people. If people are
People.
asking questions, if people are coming in, definitely we are making a point here, right? So yeah,
True.
definitely, I really enjoyed today's podcast. Yes.
Okay. So people do have to comment and do have to share their feedbacks with us every day in this live session. And that was an incredible deep down into AI roles under AI 42001. We learned that AI governance isn't just about algorithms, it's about clearly defining responsibilities between producer, provider, and user, supported by partner, regulators, and impact individual. Thank you, Love Sir, for simplifying this critical topic.
Thank you so much, Vidya. Thank you everyone for joining also.
Yeah, and to our listeners, remember clarity equals accountability, and accountability builds trust, the foundation of responsible AI. So, follow CyberGRC for more podcast on ISO 42001, AI ethics and governance excellence. If you want to learn more, please note that new batch is starting from 9th of November, weekend batch for practical ISO 42001 AIMS. If interested, please let us know. And see you tomorrow in something really interesting and new topic. And do suggest us topic also.
Yeah, definitely. If you want us to cover any specific topic, please feel free to drop in the comments. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Okay,
everyone. Thank you,
thank you
Vidya.
so much.
Thank you.